Welcome to Healing Sleep Stories. You're here now. You've done enough for today. This is your moment to slow down, to breathe softly, and allow yourself to let go of the day. This story is here to help you drift into deep, restful sleep. It's not just any story. It's a bedtime story for your soul. Let it guide you gently back to yourself. Feel free to close your eyes now. Let your body relax. Let your mind rest. Tonight, we visit a quiet path beneath a lavender sky. A place where the past, the present, and the possible meet. There was once a traveler, a quiet soul with curious eyes and worn shoes. He wasn't running, he wasn't chasing, he was simply walking. Away from noise, away from the rush, the pressure, the doing, toward something softer, toward a silence he hadn't yet met. He walked through fields where nothing asked for his attention, where wildflowers bloomed without applause, and where clouds passed slowly unbothered by time. Each morning, he tied his boots, tightened the straps on his bag, and followed whichever path felt alive. Some paths were bright, lit by golden sun and the songs of birds. Others were quiet, shadowed by tall trees that whispered stories older than him. He stopped to watch ants rebuild their homes. He listened to rivers speak in rhythms he didn't yet understand. And sometimes he simply breathed, because even that felt like progress. He carried questions like stones in his pocket, not to burden, but to remember. Questions that never had easy answers, but always had purpose. Will I find peace? Will I know who I'm meant to be? Am I lost or simply becoming? Sometimes he cried, not because he was weak, but because releasing was part of the walk. And sometimes he laughed, alone on the trail, at nothing in particular, because something in him felt free. He didn't need the answers. He only needed the courage to keep going. And still, he walked. One dusk, sky painted in lavender and gold. He reached a fork in the path. To the left, a steep climb up a shadowed mountain. To the right, a glowing forest trail, soft and humming. He paused, not from fear, but from wonder. So much of life is about choosing, but he realized in that moment, it was also about listening. Listening to what felt like peace, not ease, but peace. Then, a voice behind him. You've walked so far. He turned. A man stood behind him, older, calmer, steady. His eyes held the same questions, but also the answers. There was peace in him, like still water after rain. The traveler looked closer. The shape of his jaw, the quiet strength in his shoulders. It was him, older, wiser, still walking. And still he walked. "Who are you?" the traveler asked, already knowing. "I'm you," the man replied, "from a time you haven't reached yet." The traveler's breath caught, not in fear, in recognition. Like seeing your reflection, not in a mirror, but in your own soul, years ahead. "But how?" he whispered. "Why are you here?" "To remind you," said his future self, "that everything you're carrying is leading somewhere good. Even the questions, even the weight." The traveler looked down at his dusty boots. "I don't always know if I'm on the right path." "There is no right path," the man replied. "Only the one you walk with honesty. And you've done that. Even in doubt, you were becoming. You feared being behind," he added, "but life doesn't run on clocks. It runs on ripening. Some seasons look still, but that's when the roots grow deeper." And still, he walked. They sat beside a tree as night fell gently around them. The moon rose quietly, listening. "Do I ever feel sure?" the traveler asked. "Do I ever feel complete?" "Not always," said his future self. "But you'll feel aligned. There's a difference. Sure is loud and fleeting. Aligned is quiet and steady. And you're already learning the difference." The wind rustled through the branches as if nodding in agreement. "Do I reach the place I'm meant to be?" he asked. "You become the person you were meant to be," the elder version said. "That's even better." "And what about failure?" the traveler asked quietly. "You learn that failure was never the opposite of success," his future self replied. "It was the soil it grew from." "You'll lose things," he continued, "but only what isn't aligned. What stays is truth." And in that stillness, the traveler felt a peace he hadn't known in years. A quiet truth blooming within. And still, he walked. Eventually, the older version stood. No rush, no urgency, just presence. "One last thing," he said, looking the traveler in the eyes. "You're not late. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're ripening. Trust the unfolding." Then he turned and walked down the glowing path. Not faster, not with urgency, but with ease. The traveler stood still for a moment. Then slowly, with softened shoulders and a lighter heart, he followed. The moon watched quietly from above, as if it too had once walked the same path. And maybe you're like him, Walk in your own path, holding questions that don't have answers yet. But maybe that's not a sign you're lost. Maybe it's a sign that you're becoming. So rest now, dear traveler. You're not late, you're just ripening. You're already healing. Let this story settle into your breath. Let it soothe your soul. Let it remind you that even in stillness, you are growing. If this story brought you calm, if it helped you soften or simply remember yourself, I invite you to subscribe to Healing Sleep Stories. Each story is crafted to support your gentle transformation, nourish your soul, and guide you into deep, restful sleep. New stories every week, always peaceful, always true. So go ahead, click subscribe, and drift off knowing you are healing, you are becoming, and you are already enough. Good night.